What's up, guys? I'm Frenzy. Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with X Zimmer. Castle level 14, so he's a little bit lower level. He may have CC on his Cyclopses, but he wouldn't have anything else if he does. I don't know, he's right around that level where you get CC on your Cyclopses. Okay, so he's got a Zeke. God, Zekes move pretty fast. I just realized that. So I actually double pulled here without even thinking about it. So I mean, that's probably working pretty well at your level. I'm sure people do that. Well, although they might not kill the derps quite quick enough. Yeah, I like the fact that like the Zeke kind of came up to the edge of the next aggro circle and started firing. A lot of people, it makes you kind of want to like jump in on the Zeke. I think that's pretty good. A lot of people have been using Zekes, and I don't really have tons to say about them because I haven't used them nearly enough. But I have heard like they do a lot of DPS now. Alright, so a lot of fire traps with like no minions around them. I don't know. I don't think anyone's really going to take damage from this. I would either prefer a rotating cannon for damage or a slow trap. And you're also using ballistas over other things. I think their damage is kind of like underwhelming, like 40 damage. I mean, I have a lot of armor. A lot of random derps that you're fighting, and then you just get randomly pulled by a Scorpio, pulled into this. I'm not sure how many aggro groups I actually pulled. Like, I'm not sure if that was just one aggro group, if somehow I pulled extra. I know that couldn't have been one aggro group, right? I mean, there was a Zeke, a Scorpio. Like, I have no idea where these groups are actually coming from, so that's pretty good. Like, I'm just kind of looking around here, like there was... Oh, okay. So, you basically had these derps lined up, and I'm guessing you had the Scorpio being pulled somewhere down in here. I don't even know how you did that, to be honest. Somehow you pulled... What it seems like you did is somehow you pulled the Scorpio from down here. He walked up through this group, and this derp was like part of this aggro circle down here or something, and I got pulled into that aggro circle. That's what seems like must have happened, but I didn't actually catch it as I was going through, so I mean that's kind of a good setup. I mean, I can't say anything bad about it. I accidentally pulled more groups than I thought I was pulling, so... this derp I don't think is connected to anything though. If he is, I would be surprised, and I would say that you're a scholar for being able to connect to things that I have no idea how you're connecting to. I wish they would add Fog of War, because I mean I can see what's coming up in the future. Okay, so like again, Zekes, and you know, they're coming up through this aggro circle. Like you're pretty good about using double pulls and stuff. I'm not sure about the Defendatron defending like a Stairmaster here. I think Stairmasters with their like little bubble effect it's kind of worthless unless... I don't know, I'm trying to think about this, actually. Because, I mean, if you're a knight, maybe this works pretty well, because you have to be bashing on the Robo Shieldatron while dodging these eyeballs. As, like, an archer, you can kind of, like, move little bits here and there to dodge where the eyeballs are going to come from pretty easily. I would say it'd probably work better with a knight, but I think, like, the Stairmasters are kind of useless unless you can pull into them or something. That's just my general opinion. It looks like you have a lot of just derps that don't actually aggro anything, although I'm not 100% sure on that. I just want to make sure there's nothing up here. But it seems like you have a lot of fake derps. I've done that sort of thing before as well. So you have two pulls here. So it's almost like if you miss one, you get hit by the other. The thing that I have to say about this is vision, right? Like I can see this very easily. I mean, I would prefer it to be in a different room or something, because I don't think anyone's ever going to hit this. Anything else is maybe like... I would say not even moving it back would help, because you're going upwards with this pull. Let's see what happens if I get hit by it. And this trap doesn't actually do what you want it to do either. You don't have enough... I mean, this should be able to. Okay, there, it did it that time. That's kind of weird. I would say maybe try to edge that Cyclops just a little bit closer, just to make sure you're always hitting that. And I'm a little bit confused about this trap here. No one should ever hit this. Like, you don't have anything that's pulling into it, and I don't think anyone's ever going to hit that. Other than that, it looks like, was this all one group? I should have been paying a little bit more attention there because it didn't seem like it, but maybe it was. I forget where everything was laid out. I know your Scorpio was over here, and you had like a Cyclops over here. And it looked like when I got thrown into it, I'm wondering if that's what happened. I got thrown into it, and the Cyclops pushed me into this other group. If that's the case, if someone misses this pull, they can just skip by both of these groups or only engage one. You don't want any groups to be skippable in your dungeon. So I'm not sure that I remember how everything was laid out, but if any of your groups are skippable, you want to change this entire area around and like make sure that none of them are skippable. And I mean, this, if you hit it, throws you into Dur, but it also makes you miss Dur's shot, so I would say like change that to something else. Change this trap to maybe a ballista trap or, you know, something else. Oh, I forgot this guy gets back up. I haven't seen Dur in so long. I'm not going to say anything about Dur specifically. I think people want to use like the pre-made bosses. I think it's fine. I think Dur's kind of bad at this point, but that's all I'm going to really say about him. I don't think he's the best boss ever. Yeah, other than that, like this entire room kind of setup feels kind of weird to me. Like the fact that you can maybe skip mobs, and then the trap leading into it wasn't in the best position to be able to get, like, you know, going up vision and stuff like that. So yeah, just work on those things. Other than that, it was pretty good. And we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Okay, and number 2 is Zombiesbum. Kess level 14. He has 215 points though. So he could have, I think, Hunkerbots level 4, but with a Kess level 14, I know he doesn't have them quite yet. He's a little underleveled. So this kind of feels like an awkward place for a trap. Like, it makes me want to go this way, which then you have a Cyclops to push me out because I go that way. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, I don't mind it too much. Although the Cyclops pushing me back didn't really do anything to me. Like, I feel like if this was positioned just a little bit closer this way, I guess I have a chance to be pushed back into the fire. That's all I can really say about it. Yeah. Okay, so derp, derp, derp. Okay, so I mean, this has to be some sort of a weird pull. It didn't pull that. So I guess something down here is coming to me. Maybe not, though. Okay, yeah. Just a lot of derps. Oh, this guy must be on AoE Resurrect. That's the only way that this could be at all useful. Yeah, okay. So, at your level, this is probably working pretty well for you, but eventually people are going to get good AoEs. I say this with a lot of stuff like that. I think this is fine at your level, if it's working for you at least. I kind of almost like this trap with it as well, like this jelly wall, just because like I have to go through it to try to chase down the Dr. Skull. So I think that's pretty good. And then you have an AoE Defendatron. What specialization is this guy on? I guess heal? Yeah, alright. I don't know about the heal. I would almost say even Enrage on the Snotters is better than that. Because, like, the only thing you're trying to heal is that Defendatron. And the AoE covers all of these guys, which works well. But then as soon as it goes down, if somebody uses a big area of effect to kill off the Snotters, then this guy's kind of useless, because Defendatron isn't really going to do damage by himself. The only damage... Well, you do have the Hound, though. You have the Bad Dog as well. I didn't notice that at first. So I guess that's okay. You have the bad dog, which is gonna enrage everybody. Although I think the Snotters are gonna die with the bad dog. Like, regardless of what AoE they use, Snotters aren't gonna really stand up to it. I don't know. I don't think the 3 points on the Bone Puppeteer to heal is that effective, but if it's a good enough time waster for other people, maybe it works. Like, I'm kind of high leveled, obviously, so, you know, if it's wasting other people's time, if the heal is actually being effective, I would say then it's fine. So, if you notice right there, your charge actually knocked me out of the way of the Zeke's arrows. You want to either delay the charge or delay the arrows, so that they hit. Just test it a bunch yourself, and just like tweak it here and there, like put the Zeke back a square or back 2 squares, or turn him towards the wall, or turn the Cyclops, put the Cyclops up more so he charges before the Zeke's arrows, something like that, just to make sure that you get hit by the arrows 100% of the time, and that'll be better. I don't really like fire mines on these rooms that are dead ends, because if you punish someone for going in there, you want them to be slowed, I think, more so than a little bit of damage that isn't really gonna add up to much. They can like use a potion or something to, you know, shrug it off. So I think this is fine. I think like open corridors with archers is always good. I would say like if you can move them back at all, that's even better. Or move the Cyclops forward a little bit, just so you don't even see the beams coming out from the smelly archers, and that catches people off guard quite a bit. Okay, so I'm not sure about this like weird springboard trap. Like, I remember using things like this really early in my dungeon. I would just put a random springboard trap in, because I didn't really know how to use it well or anything, and people would actually step on it, which was kind of funny. Does it actually go anywhere? Yeah, it knocks me into this group, which, in turn, would have pulled me through into that. The thing is, you don't have anything that's, like, forcing you to hit this, right? So no one's really ever going to hit that trap. I would say change it to maybe a glue trap if you want this one to be more effective, but you also need to move this one down a little bit if you can. I mean, that's set up well. You're almost like missing opportunities, and I like this. Although he's not quite, like, he doesn't quite have enough range. The Stairmaster on that is kind of interesting. You know, I don't see it much. The only thing I really have to say about this is, like, it's all set up pretty nicely and it works to do what you want it to do. The problem with it is, I mean, this isn't going to catch anyone, really. I would also say that this, you should move this mine so that it doesn't get in the way of people getting hooked. You know, there's a possibility that they can dodge behind it, I think. And again, like, I'm not gonna say much bad about the like pre-made bosses in the game. I think Snottingham's fine. If he's working for you, then that's great. But what I have to say is probably remove this, add a slow trap here. And the problem with this, how it's set up right now, is that I can see the springboard trap before I even enter this room. If there's any way that you can pull this back at all, which I don't think there is because this room's too narrow, so I almost say like try a different room, but I know how hard it is to like pick correct rooms for this and stuff. But I think that people are going to see this much too early. Maybe it's working for you now, but later on, people are going to see it and, like, you know, pull back around corners and stuff. The same with this. If I miss that first trap, as I'm coming up here, I'm going to see this really early and, you know, volley around the corner or something like that. So, I mean, you just really have to try to deny people vision more than you are right now. Probably with a different room. Alright, so, I mean, it's a pretty good castle overall. And we will jump into the next in just a second. Okay, and third and lastly, we have SirTricky, castle level 17. He's actually got pretty low level heroes for where he's at for his castle level, so, I mean, the first thing I want to say is, like, level up one of your heroes so that you're high enough to actually do your own castle and test it yourself. Because I'm pretty sure you have trouble testing your own castle, which makes things a lot more difficult when you're like trying to set up hunger bot traps and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything yet, but let's see if I'm correct. It looks like that might be the way you have to go up, or no? Alright, so this is a dead end. Up here, I'm not sure. And over here, like one of these has to be skippable, I think. It looks like I just like skipped this entire mob group over here. That's so weird, like your mousetrap thing is under the carpeting. It was kind of weird for, like, I think I got hit by it, but I didn't get thrown at one point, but yeah. So I think this mob group's skippable. And you don't want that. You want to, you know, move one of these derps down into here or something to make sure that I always get hit by it. Okay, and when hunger bots get up to level 4, there's also a chance that I get pulled into this mob group, so that's good. It'll get better for you. Oh, you have those smelly archers with traps. Honestly, that's probably, in my opinion, the next best skill. You have like headshot and then probably the traps. I've seen a lot more people using them, and I think it's mainly because people aren't used to seeing them, so they just kind of charge in towards the smelly archers and get hit by the traps, and it's just like another stun effect that's on you. The thing that I have to say is that it'll probably get worse after the patch. Because you might have stun immunity when you walk onto it or something like that. I think, like, vision here, maybe I had, I don't know, with linear quarter you can almost always see through the walls. Like, I could see what's coming in this room if I just look at it. You have 2 hunger bots, you have a defendatron, and you have a cyclops. Right, I don't know about the traps, but I can see the monsters. I hope they add in Fog of War sometimes so that you can actually see this sort of thing. And, like, I couldn't see into this room until I come around the corner. I think that would make the game a lot more interesting. Alright, so what was in this room? The 2 hunger bots into this. Yeah, there's something that I don't really like about this room. It's either the traps or the hunger bots. I don't think it's like synergizing quite well for you. You have 2 hunger bots here, so you like really want to pull somebody in, but what are you really trying to pull them into, right? Like, there's not really anything that's doing damage here. So I would say, you know, maybe rotating cannon trap or fire mines or something like that, that, you know, I get pulled into it and it's actually synergizing better. Because just being slow doesn't really do much, and you have like a defendatron and a cyclops which don't do too much damage by themselves. You know, the cyclops does an okay job, but you only have one of them, so. This is fine, I think. Like, I could see everything a little bit before I actually got into the room, but I mean, again, like the cyclopses and stuff, when you're designing rooms, like this is for everybody, and I don't really know specifically what you could do differently here to make it better, but you really want to have your creatures synergizing with the traps. You want to have it all working together, right? Like, so, for example, which obviously this won't work because you have a trap down here, a trap over here, but if you had a rotating cannon trap here, right, and I'm walking through it, and as I get through it, you know, I'm taking a little bit of damage, I get through it, I aggro these 2 cyclopses that are up here or something, and they push me back into the trap to take more and more damage. You want to have everything synergized like that. So, I mean, this has, like, these last 2 rooms didn't really have any synergy between the traps and monsters. There's nothing wrong with the mob groups that you have here. I just think that, like, it needs to synergize a bit better. And then you have dirt to finish it all off. And, like, this trap, nobody's going to hit that. I would change that up to, you know, a slow trap is fine there. I think slow traps are best when there's no mob groups around, and then in other specific circumstances. you know, to lead into a Hungerbot pull or something like that. Although they're being nerfed, so a lot of that stuff, slow traps might almost be useless after the patch. We'll have to see. But yeah, that being said, this is the third, so I'll end the video here. You know, if you enjoy it, please subscribe and leave a like. And if you want to be a part of Viewer Castles and you want to contact me, leave a comment in one of the comments of the video. Leave a comment on my dungeon, you know, attack and leave a comment saying you want me to do your castle, or email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. Link in the description, and I will run your castle when I get time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.